Well, hello. This is the first of a new. I was going to say the first of a new series. It's not the first of a new series. This is me just trying something out. Literally just sitting earlier, going down through some comments that were coming out of the videos on YouTube, and I'm thinking, actually, there's some great questions in here, some really good comments. These would make good videos, and so I figured, why don't we start something over here and let's actually go live. Maybe this becomes a weekly show. I don't know. But let's have a go at it today and see how we get on. Just really going down the chat over our YouTube videos and seeing some of those comments, bringing them out, demonstrating them. And yeah, let's see how we get on. Now, I haven't promoted this really. I did just put it over in our Facebook group, but I haven't done anything other than that. So I'm not expecting to have many here. So if you are here, thank you for showing up, and we will be answering any questions that you've got. Whoops. What happened to that? That looked great a few minutes ago, and it's all just gone really big. Oh, I'll tell you what I did. I changed my screen resolution to yeah, a different shape up here, and it's all messed it up. But never mind. Look, if you've got a question and you want to pop it into the comments, please do so with a Q. As I say, these are really just picking out any questions that I'm seeing and finding in the comments. I want you to see as well that we do actually respond and we do answer your questions, and not just give you a little quick answer to jump on to the next one, but we want to stop and go, yeah, come on, let's really dig into that one. So I've got a question up here, which was, and should be on the screen. Where have I? Let's have a look. Clotzo. This was a month ago, in fairness, so that's why I've just pulled this one up first, and then we will have a look through. But this one leads me on nicely to what I want to do. So Clotzo put in here, it would be nice to also show the live chat while doing a screen share. When I'm showing someone in the browser, for example, and want to read the live chat at the same time to interact. Is this possible? Hey, Coulter, good to see you. Frederick, good to see you on as well. So I thought this was a really good question because it starts me off. I'm here at the minute, and we're going to do a lot of live demo like this and really just having a look at what I'm doing. And I'm thinking, let's build out some scenes as we go, answering the questions. So the question here is, when doing a screen share, is it possible to have the chat and the screen share up? Now, this is something that we weren't able to do before version 3.9. That was a major update. But yeah, absolutely, we can do that. So I'm going to do a live demo mode. We are going to create a new scene. And what I'm going to do over here, the way I would come at this, shouldn't have copied that one down. I would start, I'm going to zoom in a little bit up in this top corner so you can see more what I'm doing. We're going to start with a blank window. And let's build this up individually. So now in the overlays, you've got so many options for overlays. The first thing we're going to do, just really so it brings me back on camera, is to bring our camera overlay in. And if I say, let's go custom sizing over here, and then what it will allow me to do is just change this shape around, and let's pop that at the top to start with. We can play around with this all kinds of ways. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Scott, thanks for showing up. Okay, Scott was asking the question about the green screen. We'll come to that in a minute, Scott. So what I wanted to do, the question was, can I see the chat as well as sharing my screen? So we're going to bring in a camera overlay like this. And the first one I'm going to select, let's pick our Chrome window down there, because that in this case is going to be this is the screen share that I want to see. Now, as you can see, mine's off the window there. I don't know why I pushed it so far down. What's gone on? Oh, sorry, no, it isn't. It's because I'm zoomed in up here. Right, so let's pull this back over here then. So this is me sharing my screen, but notice again on here, if I click option on the edge of this, I can just tidy this up and actually crop into that. So, okay, this is me up here. I'm doing my screen share, but we want to, let me bring that, what I might do is bring that over and then crop that over a little bit more. We don't need to see all of that on the edges. Right, that can go there. I'm up in the top. Let's bring in another screen share overlay. And this time we're going to say show Ecamm and comments. So we can now bring your comments on screen. Again, I can use the option key and I can crop in on this. And so what I might do is get rid of top and bottom. So we are just seeing the comments appear. And there you go. Now remember that this one up here, that's what I can actually say to it, bring it to the front so that I can do this. So yeah, what do you think? All of a sudden, and again, let's lose the controls on there. So that doesn't look too bad, does it? We can actually, we've answered the question. We can do what we should do. And kind of glad that happened actually, because it gives us a chance to just show. So we can snap these to the edges. I do find these Apple mice, I can let go of it and then it just seems to jump on me. What I can do is to lock this overlay. So you see I just touched the mouse and it zoomed it in and out. We don't want it to do that. I can actually lock these individual overlays, and so they're not going to move now in place. So there we go. There's question one answered. I can absolutely share my screen. That could have been a presentation, and actually we've got a few people asking in these questions about how to do sharing presentations. Actually, you can see some of the questions that I've got lined up that are in here already. We're going to come to those in a minute, but yeah, I can absolutely work my way through the chat over here, nice and easy. If you haven't seen in other videos, you know, we've put all this in actually with showing you how to do all these. You can completely customize things over here with these borders, the rounded edges, things like this. Fairly recently, if you haven't been around for a while, if you haven't updated Ecamm for a while, you might not be seeing these, but definitely worth that three. Oh, there it is actually, that version 3.9. Check out that video if you haven't already seen it. Right, I'm going to come out of live demo mode for a minute. Let's just have a quick look. Nothing, look, building your car when you're driving down the street. Yeah, God. I genuinely kind of look at this and think, do I make all these scenes up? Or actually, I think people like to just see us building it in as we go. So, right, that was my first question about live chat and presentations. And then the second one. So if I come over here to my second question, love the videos. Is it possible to present a keynote through Ecamm that does retain the animations? So Matt was having a look on quite an old video, actually, the how to run a slideshow presentation using Keynote. And so this is probably a 2-year-old video that Matt was on. Just so you know, we didn't delete those old videos, but there is a new one of it, and it does say right at the start of it, click here for the new video. But that's fine. So we used to do it with a way that, let's slide him down a bit. We used to do it with a way that we would, if you'd got a presentation, we'd save it out as a PDF, bring it in so that within Ecamm, you can just click your way through scene by scene or page by page. And that was great. But yeah, people want to be able to do the animation. So how do we do that? Well, this question specifically in Keynote, but I did get asked as well a similar question. Is there a way to do all this in a Chrome slideshow? I haven't really used the Google Google Slides. Is that what it was called? But let's show you it in here first of all. And again, I'm going to come into a live demo mode, and you can see what I'm doing over here. Let's just open up Keynote. Now, all I've done here, as you can see, and I'm not a big Keynote user, but all I've just done over here is to, look, I've just started off a 1 scene, 2, 3 like this. And really advanced, we've got a transition on here. Let's just preview a wonderful little drop to the next one, and a confetti changer. So this scene drops, this one moves in, this one is a confetti drop. So previously you'd have lost that animation if the instruction in that old video was saying save it as a PDF, click to go over the slides one at a time. So what can we do? You do have an option now in Keynote, and you need to change it in your defaults. That down here I've got a play button, but at the top here, when I click on play, and it does give me an option, and by default I think you'll find you're in full screen, or you can select in window. So now when I click play, it opens it up in a new window like this. So I can actually have it with my scenes there. Actually, how would that work? No, it doesn't. So when I click now through this, it will carry over those different animations that I put in. All right. So what I can do is hit play on there. And just like we did with that last scene, in fact, if I clone this one, and what we're going to say is we don't want the comments on screen this time. That wasn't the question. We need to unlock this layer, this overlay. And instead of saying Chrome, we're going to go Keynote. And we probably ought to try, because this is still picking up on that crop. So let me just make sure that we're right to the edges. Is this helpful? Do let me know. Let me know that this is relevant and what you're after. So if I were to put that up there, for instance, and I could then maybe slip this underneath, and as I come back down now to this Keynote presentation, and I'm going to slide through it, you can see that it picks up that animation over there. In fact, let me come out of live demo mode and you can see it better. So it is going through the presentation. I can just adjust totally where I want to be on this, or how big I want this to be. And this actually, let me answer this one as well, because this was another question on the same topic really here about slideshows. Somebody said, is it possible to do, where was it? How can we do a regular Keynote presentation? This was Mr. D'Angelo. How do we do a regular Keynote presentation or a background Keynote presentation? So notice I'm doing here, this could be do you want to call this a regular Keynote presentation, or we can actually do away with the borders and things. Let's get rid of that border. Let's go back to having our normal edges on here. And so I could fit this to the size of the window, and away I go. This is a regular presentation. So I'm not quite sure what the question was referring to about having a background. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the question was meaning there, but regular presentation, do you just mean turning the overlay on and off? I won't do actually, because I shall miss it. But there we go. That's hopefully answering the question there about where did it go? Question 2, Keynote presentation through Ecamm that does retain the animation. So yes, Matt, it's all done now with these overlays, and it's so powerful for us now to be able to do screen share overlays. I kind of more and more I start with a blank scene and build things in, instead of starting with a scene that is that is a screen share, or starting with one that is a camera. It allows me to have all this flexibility and play with things in here. Yes, Coulter, absolutely. Ecamm can add its own borders. How did you miss it? It was in 3.9. It is a fantastic feature. So yeah, you can do that with any of these. So notice that this is out of shape now over here because it's set to wide. So I definitely recommend going custom, and then you can just crop that to the right shape of the window you're looking at. And then even more so, yes, we can do an option, and we could This is the other way. If you didn't want the animation particularly, maybe you just want to work on this scene here. It would also be possible for me to, so again, let's come live demo mode. And in the same way that, here I am now, as you can see on my screen, I've got my presentation in front of me, but I don't want to see all the bits down the side. And I know we can turn off these side panels. But if rather than stripping all that out, how much easier is it to just go, okay, I'm just going to crop in on that to the presentation area. And then I can still down here see all the boundary outside of that, but it's not coming through in here. Again, liking that. To be honest, a big part of me jumping on and doing this is I haven't done a live like this for a while. We tend to, this is what we're doing all the time in our academies. And I thought I really need to get on and just have a go at firefighting and doing some building things up in front of you like this. Yeah, Coulter, it's so much easier to build out scenes. It's incredible. And we're able to do, sorry, I just realized actually I should have tweaked this a bit before I brought it on, but yeah, and I think actually it's done away with a lot of those overlays and frames and things that were made before. I love this. We've had a lot of fun sort of building these out, and so even like this, maybe well, let's come again and let's clone this one down again. So what might be more typical for me, rather than having that on there, oh, everything's locked. Remember to unlock. Coulter, I would kind of bring a chat up like this, and yeah, absolutely, I can adjust this border and the size around it. I can adjust whether I want it square edges or rounded in the corners. Some really cool stuff. And then if I wanted to, let's unlock that again. Maybe I want to bring in a logo. Where am I? Would be good if I'd got one ready. Okay, it's YouTube rather than, forgive me. But yeah, so, you could really do some nice branding on a page like this. This is actually one of the new beta features as well, is this snapping. So much like other software, you can actually now snap in here. Sorry, you can't see that. Live demo mode. Let me bring that on and zoom you up. As I'm moving this around, it is snapping to where there are multiple overlays. It will kind of line things up to each other. So you've always had this boundary box around the outside, but it will now line these up. Which is pretty cool as well. So yeah, you could do a lot of stuff like this. I decide I want to maybe square off this side because it matches in with that. Get the same border width over here. You could be touching these things up together even, and even slightly overlaying, so when you're seeing it in the output. Yeah, I think you could have a lot of fun with this, Coulter. And slightly off topic, but there you can now also, and you might have missed this as well, profiles. You can actually set yourself up as profiles in here. So for me, YouTube Academy here, I might want to have all this set up. I can actually have a whole, instead of putting like a folder's worth of scenes in, you can now create a whole profile for this account, colors, fonts, all of this stuff. And then maybe you go into another academy, or it's your weekly live show, something like that, or LinkedIn maybe. You can go to another profile and it will just switch everything over to how you've got that preset. Really cool. Alignment guides, yes. Yeah, Frederick, behave. You're getting me worried now. What I'm going to do is just pull that up a bit. Why is that not? Okay, it's the crop on here actually that took the bottom of. There we go. Right. Anyway, so the question was, could we do how do we kind of do overlays like that? And hopefully, yep, there you go. There's the answer. This was the other one that we have already answered. Mr. D'Angelo, can we do regular keynote presentation or background keynote presentation? So I'm not quite sure what you mean about a regular one or a background one. Maybe the background one you're referring to as like I talk about being cut out in green screen. We could have a little look at that. So if we were to go back to this one, and if so let's take the presentation right up to the top here like this. And instead of me sitting over the front of it like this, I'm thinking this might be the question. Instead of me sitting up here like this, what I can actually do, and I do have a green screen here. So what I could do down here is tick green screen, tick transparent. Obviously, in this case, I would get rid of the frame. And I'm thinking this might have been the question with, you know, doing it like this actually as a, I think that's what we're meaning. But exactly the same thing applies if I hit play down here. I could be running through this and it's all happening behind me. Yep. I'm going to come on to a quick question. This actually came up in our Pro Video group. Let me just take that slide off for a minute. We had a customer one of our members on the live call the other night was asking about green screen and the fact that her green screen isn't getting to the edges. Notice that which side are we? That side. I've got an edge there. My green screen isn't fitting to the edge. Now it kind of will, but I want to demonstrate this. If you were wanting to bring in normally if I wanted to play if I wasn't going transparent, we want to select an image. Let's just go for this classic brick one. It doesn't cover that edge. And yes, I can say mask edge. As you can see, it's not doing it here. Sometimes if there's a thin edge, it will mask that in for you, but it's not doing it here. And so how can we do this? So maybe let's not pick that as the background image. Maybe I bring one in that I've got. And let's find a background that I've got over here. The Incredibles. Right, so I could drop this down here. And this is sort of see, I'm in the camera effects overlay and I've dropped an image in there. I'm in green screen. Yeah, everything's as it should be, but it's not helping me with that edge because my green screen isn't going to the edge there. And even with mask edge ticked, it's not taking me over there. What can we do? Tell me in the comments if you're already ahead of me and you've got an idea for how we're going to do this. Hey, Alberto, good to see you. Just spotted actually, sorry, I'm distracting myself. Alberto's just saying there, run Keynote of PowerPoint in an iPad connected to the camera. Yeah, absolutely. So you can connect your iPad or your phone, and we've done a tutorial showing how to do this as well, so that it does just take it off and you can just swipe through on your iPad. And actually, even if you could do exactly the same thing, Alberto, with that, and because it would come in as an image in here, and you could still crop in the tabs and that around the edge if you wanted to, rather than being full screen on your iPad. Right, back to this green screen. So this is one way of doing it. This is how Ecamm expect you to do it, that you bring it in, you drop your image into the camera effects area down there. But another way to do it is to start off, like I said before, starting off with a blank scene. And now I'm going to grab that same Incredibles image and drop it up to the back here. So I've dropped it on here as an overlay. And now what I'm going to do is put a camera overlay over the front. And I can say green screen, transparent. Okay, and I've still got that border there. But if you saw me earlier, we were able to hit Option and just crop in on that edge over there. I can do the same thing actually and come in over here. So now, and I can make this as big as I want. Does that make sense? So it's a different way of doing it, is to come at it this way round, and rather than dropping it into, let me come out of live demo so you can just see that full size, rather than me dropping it down there into the camera effect and doing it that way, all that's happening is it's putting an image behind you. So why not start off with a blank canvas, put the image on, bring your camera on, and build it in this way. And another question that came from the same person in our group was also struggling with a camera on a ZV-1 and had it zoomed out quite wide. And rather than zooming it in every time, because it defaults out to that wide when every time you turn it off and on, she was actually zooming in down here and kind of using Ecamm to do the zoom in. I'm obviously sitting too close for this, but where her image was doing this, she was using Ecamm to zoom in. But because it was starting off with 1080, I'm in 4K at the minute, so we've got a bit of wiggle room. But if it were in 1080 and then you start to stretch that out, the quality really drops, and all of a sudden it's more like a 720p, your actual video bit, your face that's being stretched out in here, it's not good. So zooming in and out like that with the camera is okay if you're just slightly doing it to position yourself, but don't be doing that and kind of zooming in rather than zooming in with the camera. I hope that makes sense, just throwing that in there because that was something else. I try zoom and crop next. Yes. Okay, so yeah, Coulter, that's right. Good stuff. Now, what else have I got down here as questions? If I come back to my original one where we've put our overlay, and you can see down here what's coming up. Just record. I mean, this is quite a simple one. Just wanted to bring it in really. I'll get rid of that for a minute. I think we take for granted sometimes what people know or expect of Ecamm, and we're playing with all these fancy advanced features. Someone's just saying to me, first time looking at it really, I think Chaps Talk seems like a great product with lots of features. Don't want to go live yet. I only decide to record podcasts remotely, main for the audio. Video podcast in the future. What do I need to do to record with a guest without going live? So I think it's great. It's a great question. It's great to be reminded, really, that people are looking at this for the first time. It's not all advanced users. And so yes, you can absolutely, instead of, we at the minute are going live here to YouTube. So I come down to the bottom corner and I can select Facebook, YouTube, different places to go live to. Or I can just say, I just want to record it. And absolutely, you can, what I would just throw in, if you want to use this for a podcast for the audio. So I can't show you because we're already in a live, but down here it would say record only, and you can click that and it will just do a local recording. It's not live streaming anywhere, but you've got exactly the same functionality, and you get to the end and you say close. That's me done. And job done. What I would suggest if you're doing a podcast is you do have down here an isolated audio option. Why can't I see it? It's under interview. No, it's not. Oh, it is down here. I can't put it on. That's why it's grayed out, because I can't use it part way in. But let me come down here. Record isolated audio tracks. So in addition to the normal recording, record each audio track separately. Cannot be changed while streaming. That's why I couldn't see the thing. So if I tick that and I record, then it will give me the master copy of the mixed audio, but it will also give me two separate audio files to play with as well. So if maybe after the interview I realized that my guest just needed bringing up a bit, I don't have to go through and keep going through the timeline and moving it up. I can change it afterwards, or I could send it to someone, some of you guys that are getting podcasts and that done, send it off elsewhere to get them to do all that for you. So they would be very happy to get 2 copies of that. So that's just something to throw in there. But yeah, absolutely, record only. We do it all the time. If I'm making a tutorial video or I just want to, record something, I absolutely just open up Ecamm, hit record. I can talk away. I can just purely use it as a talk to camera like this, and I can end recording. The other things you can do with it like this, if you just wanted to record, you don't have to be in this 16:9 format. I can change this around and I could go square, I could go portrait, and again, I can just hit record and save myself out a nice little Instagram video and airdrop it to my phone and upload it. Sorry, Coulter's got, I'm missing some questions in here. Let me jump back to, here we go. Look, let's try our new scene that we've made. Is there a way to stream in 1080p but record in 4K locally? No. You would select for, well, where would you be going to, Coulter? Sorry, I'm looking at the next one as well. I'm terrible. You got to select in here your output as being 4K. If it's going to Facebook or somewhere, it's going to come down anyway to 720, I believe, on Facebook. Yeah, and I think people's versions, they'll get what they can. It'll reduce that down. It won't try and give them 4K if it's buffering. So no, there's not a way to split it separately. Same issue with green screen as Scott. Background is just black. Oh, where was that then? Did someone else just say that? Same issue with green screen. Scott, the background is just black. Michael, come back. Tell me a little bit more what you mean there as to why that background is black. I'm not quite sure. So Coulter says Facebook only does 720 no matter what it sends. Yeah, so Coulter, it will. If in Ecamm you're set up for 4K and you go to Facebook, yes, it will upload a 720p, but you will get your local copy will be in 4K that you set it to. So even if it's not able to send it up, the local recording will be in what you tell it in the output. So if over here I've selected what on earth? Oh no. What a rookie mistake. So I should be in 4K. All right. I'm going to zoom in because this is something worth pointing out. I've just been caught out. So options, stream size. After telling you that I'm in 4K and you're probably thinking that doesn't look like 4K. It's actually 720p. What happens is I just ticked before I went live and thought, should I go extra wide, which is the nice wide cinematic 2x1. I clicked on that, and then when I came back to wide, weirdly, it defaults and it kicks you back to a 720p. Oh, that's just really hacked me off, actually, because I was thinking this was coming out in a lovely 4K, and it isn't. Well, there we know anyway. When I turn on green screen and pick one from a pre-loaded background, it turns black, says Michael. Right. Let's have a little look. So, Michael, I'm assuming you're... Right, let me go... We'll backtrack. We'll create another scene. You're coming in like this, I'm assuming, with a camera... Pull up your green screen. Now, first thing I would say, does the green screen look nice and green like this? Because I've seen some people's green screens, and actually when I say just when they're saying to me that they're getting fuzzy, they're not getting nice edges and things, and I'll say, well, let me just have a look at how green that is, because Ecamm is looking for a nice bold green like this, not a kind of a browny washed out color. notice it doesn't matter. So I've got lights in my ceiling and it's seeing that frame coming through there. Now, when we're on a live demo, aren't we? So when I come down here a bit, I don't want to come too far, else you'll lose me at the top. I'll tell you what we can do. Let's just bring camera effects up. So I'm in green screen. I tick green screen. You're saying that it isn't showing. So you can definitely see the picture in there. What you're saying is it isn't coming through. I do wonder if it's because of the fade level. I don't know if you notice it's not the best one to pick up. If I pick a light one like the beat, like the beach one, you'll see it more obviously around my hair that you're trying to get an edge on that. Yeah, I don't know. It is black. But when you turn the green screen off, it looks nice like that behind you. Really not sure what that is. Michael, if you... Hey, Valerie! Is transparent ticked? Yeah. The screen is green. Yes, it does. We're getting a bit lost in this. What I was going to say, Michael, is you ought to maybe head over to our Facebook community group because actually you can post in and you can actually ask me. Yeah, it's a bit hard in here. You can put an image in there or a screenshot and let me see what your camera effects. That would be the first thing I'd want to see is what have you got down here in your camera effects? How is this set up? All right. Now, what I did just want to, something that's exciting, and Michael, please come back if you want on that. It's just a bit hard sort of hovering, waiting. I know there's a delay. We got about 15 seconds delay from me saying it and you hearing it, and then you need to reply and so on. One thing I wanted to share with you, and I'm not sure, Valerie and others, whether you've picked up on this. This is a pretty cool feature that's just come out of beta. Where's that gone? Question 4 that's supposed to be, and it's I've lost my question. It was looking all slick. I'd got it all lined up. Nope. Anyway, we'll forget that one. What the question was is someone was saying to me, in fact, if I go right up to the top here, let's have a look, and you can see in my comments that we made. So here's my question about echo cancellation. Do you have any suggestions for how badly the guest audio echoes on the live side? The echo cancellation is only available for internal speakers. So outside of us wearing headsets, no, we're not gamers. The interview option is completely unusable. So disappointing. This issue makes the whole lot garbage. We don't like to hear that. Changing lanes, it isn't garbage. Oh, just awesome. Valerie, come on. This is my sidekick there. She solved it for Michael. It was transparent. Well spotted. So echo cancellation. Now, yeah, typically we've kind of gone... just realized you're seeing the whole thing again. Typically we've gone... I've been really saying, look, if you're doing an interview, put some headphones in, and actually you can get some very discreet little in-ears, something like this that very, very discreet, can just tuck in your ear there, clip it round the back of your head. Doesn't have to be a big deal to put a pair of headphones in. But maybe you reach out to someone and they say, oh, I haven't got any headphones, or they suddenly turn up on a live with a huge pair of headphones and you think this isn't what I wanted. It isn't the image that I wanted. Yeah, Coulter, use discreet in-ear headphones. I would say that would I would always do that anyway, just as a safety net. But, or what I've done in the past is I've actually switched across to the little speaker that is in my Mac Mini, which isn't great, but it means that it's an internal speaker. But exciting news. This is just in beta at the minute. So it'll be coming very soon. But you can now, let's say it the right way around. Echo cancellation will work with external speakers. So have a look down here on my preferences when I'm in audio. Notice we now have echo cancellation for external speakers. So I'm going to demo this. How are we going to demo this? I say stuff before thinking it through. We're going to demo. It's bugging me. Let's play a little video. If I drag onto here, what have I got that's did that have audio? No. Darren Lee. Right, okay. I want to play Darren Lee's video. So if I drag Darren Lee onto here, let's yeah, okay.
Hello, my name is Darren Lee, and I've just completed the setup part of the Pro Video Academy course, and it's absolutely amazing how
right.
I'm so
Whoops. I'm trying to hit that up there. Right, so this is my video playing down here, and I can see on the sound levels that at the minute I've got echo cancellation on. So I wouldn't normally have previously, because I've got external speakers, and you can see down here that my speakers, it says external headphones. It's a pair of speakers that I've got plugged in. And I've got warnings everywhere telling me that it's going to cause issues. We're going to get feedback. I'm deliberately doing it. Let's have a listen what would happen if we didn't have echo cancellation on.
setup. I'm so pleased with the quality, which is so much better than a standard webcam. I mean,
I'm pausing it a second. Can you actually see, if I zoom in a bit on here, you can actually see on my sound levels. And when someone's saying they got an echo coming through, I would always say, have a look on your sound levels, because you will see, it will show you if you've got two green lines going along, then there are two audios coming in. So when I hit play again, oh, I've got rid of the overlays.
I'm so pleased with the quality, which is so much better than a standard webcam.
I can see that it's being picked up in the microphone and the movie.
Absolutely. I just want to thank you, because the investment in your Pro Video Academy course was more. I'm so pleased with the quality setup. I'm so pleased with the quality, which is so much better than a standard webcam. I mean, look at my blurry background. Absolutely amazing.
It's still picking
Adrian,
it up.
I just want to thank you, because the investment in your Pro.
What do you think? Did that work? Or was that still picking that up? I'm curious actually what you think. Elaine's on. Good to see you. Because actually, according to that, you were still hearing it through the mic, which means there would have been an echo. I know this is a video rather than being a guest on an interview. We need to practice that and have a play with that one. But good news is it external speakers now, and you can still use echo cancellation even if you plug into external speakers. Pretty cool. Although I'm not convinced that worked. Working while listening. Good stuff. So I'm just having a look at what's been written in there. Right, so that's me through my main questions there. It was really a lot that I'd seen. I can just quickly jump over. Let's jump back to this scene over here. And I can just have a scroll through what's relevant, really. Somebody was just asking here, can I zoom in a bit on these comments? Let's have a look. Yeah, someone's saying about using Google Slides in Ecamm Live. Very much the same thing. In fact, I can crop this thing down. Let me unlock that. Fiddling while we go. Comments, of course, are locked. Let's pop them up there. And let's just get these. The main thing I wanted to have a look at on here is this. In fact, I'm going to lose you guys. There you go. Your comments have just gone. Pop me up there. Let's bring these comments in. That's better. So yeah, Google Slides, very much the same idea. So instead of me at the minute, I mean, this is a Chrome window that I'm showing now. So it would work in exactly the same way as this, really, that you could select that Chrome slideshow and do it that way around. We've answered that one. We've answered that one. Does the same principles apply with an iPhone, iPod, and HDMI conversion into the computer? Yes, I'm not 100% sure of how to read that. Yes, you can bring in your camera, or you can just plug in with the charger lead your iPad or your phone, and it will see it as a camera. If it isn't finding it, plug it in first. It will just check with it and want to know that it can trust it. Once it's done that, if it's not seeing it, close Ecamm fully and open it back up again, and it should be there when you come back to it. I know sometimes it glitches like that. It's bugging me now. I'm playing around with this. What else have we got? Is there a maximum pre-recorded video length? I have to stream a 45-minute video during a webinar. Will it work without troubles? No problem at all. Yeah, there's no limit on this. And also with your camera, if you're using a camera, I know plenty of cameras have like a 30-minute limit on them. Don't actually record in the camera. All you need to do is send this through. So your camera's just sitting there in standby mode, really, and you're using it as a webcam. So you don't need to record in camera. You don't need to worry about those limits and times that your camera has. Playing a pre-recorded video in Ecamm, but hear an echo on it. My sound is coming from Rode through Genelec boxes, but I hear an echo. So again, motion builders, similar to what I've just said here. The first thing I would be saying to you is have a look up here and what's your sound levels telling you? Because if you're hearing an echo, it'll be coming in here. And it might be that you've got movie open and system audio is also picking it up, or your microphone is picking it up. So have a look on here and it will tell you where the audio is coming from. And you just need to mute off anything other than movie if it's getting an echo come through. How close does the green screen need to be for background? Scott, this was you that was on at the start, was it? I'm sure I just saw Scott. Yes. I'm saying yes, and I can't see it. Yes. Scott was saying set up a green screen. However, when I turn the background, it doesn't work. Am I missing? So I'm not sure, Scott, if you're still around, whether you've seen the answer that we just came up with that, hopefully. But yeah, how close does it need to be? It's a good question. And if you can have it kind of arm's length from you, ideal. If it's right up close, the problem is if it's right up close, some of that green can sort of shine back on you, and then your camera's trying to take out anything green, and it can sometimes pick up that color, and then you end up not getting a nice clean edge. So if you can create a bit of space, brilliant. But obviously the further back that goes, like we were saying earlier, when it gets further back, you then start seeing the edges. For some of you, you're up against the wall and you don't have that depth. If you have, and you can push it back a bit, and having seen what we just did earlier in this live, where even if the screen only comes to here, we can actually crop this bit out as a camera overlay, and it really doesn't matter too much about the edges. Scott is here. Scott, did that work answering your question earlier then? Was that the same as Michael, really, with the transparent background? Let us know if so, and full marks for staying on. Right, I'm going to come back down to where were we? This one. How can you delete a scheduled live? Beat your anxiety? Lydia said. Yeah, you can see I've answered the question. I've already answered these, which is why I kind of got through them and went, I really should be doing this as a live. If you schedule it in Facebook and you need to cancel it, then you want to follow the link through. Ecamm will give you a link up in, where are we? Up in the edit bit, it will say to show the link or something, and you can go through, or you can open up Facebook and find it that way around. And yeah, absolutely, you can just delete it over there. Good stuff. Scott sorted it. That's what we like. It's funny, how it goes. This is a really old video that I did, Knee with Softbox Diffuser. I got several comments. It's as if, I don't know, somebody's suddenly posted it up, and then we've been a lot of questions about it. It's funny how that goes. How do you record a video, then pause it? Again, if you are just doing a record only in Ecamm, you absolutely can just keep hitting pause. Not a problem. Yeah, lots of random. Yeah, when you play, notice that when you played music or video, it muted your mic. Is there a way of playing background music and still talking over it without creating feedback? Yeah, absolutely. And that's down here in your, where are we? This is where I need to get up to speed on this. There's an option for when you play a video, mute the mic. Isn't it always the way? Yeah, sorry, there it was, right on the first screen. Oh, you're not even looking. So right down here, automatically mute the microphone and the guest audio during video playback. So that's an option I can turn on or off. So by default, yes, it assumes that if you're playing a full-size video, you don't want to talk over it, it will mute your microphone, but it will allow you to override that and change it around. You could also, if you didn't want to have just the audio playing, have a video for the sake of the audio, you can play audio. And yeah, again, that's one of the new features in here that, would that work with audio? I think one of the new beta features is that it will carry that over for you actually, and you can play between various scenes. So yeah, there's another one ticked off. Hi Eileen, how you doing? Good to see you. Coulter's off. It's good to see you, Coulter. We're going to run ourselves in a few minutes. Just wanted to really test this out as an idea to jump on and see if me answering questions in here. And the other thing I want to be doing really is just encouraging people to leave comments on my YouTube videos, to think actually if I comment on there and go, yeah, great question, actually I'm going to answer this on a live next week. Yeah, I think it's a good way to go. It's sort of taking, I think, YouTube to the next level of community and doing that really. It tends to be pretty static. There's plenty of videos no one even answers, and so it's quite limiting to put an answer in just a little chat box when you really don't know what that's about. Much better, certainly when there are videos like this where we're demonstrating things, to be able to go, let me show you. So that was really the idea of this. Answered these ones. Yeah. Anything else? I'm just trying to think. Anything else in beta that we could pick up on? We've just mentioned about that. So these are all well, obviously beta at the minute. These will come out as updates. I don't know when, days, weeks, but all of these things. So the way that I showed you earlier on how the images now snap. If you've got multiple images, you get those kind of guidelines to snap to it. In the same way that we've been able to fly text in and out. So if I add a text overlay, so I've got down here my Ecamm overlay, for instance, that I can slide up and down. I can now do that with other things as well. So in fact, yeah. So here we go. This is a screen share overlay. Trying to remember what I've got here, and I can do exactly the same thing on this end to say to slide in from the left. So if I go away from this scene and come back to it, it'll now slide it in from the side. So those animations now are not just for text, but what are we saying? It's for everything, really, isn't it? Images, animations, countdowns, camera overlays, and screen shares. Brilliant. So you can also, I'm not sure where you would, I haven't yet come across a use where this would be, but you know, if you open up a new scene and you've got a video in there, it always, currently, it just plays it from the start every time. And maybe you were watching a video and then you want to decide, you know, okay, so well, let's watch this video. Actually, I just want to talk to you about this for a minute, and then I want to come back in and go to that video, but I don't want it to start from the start. I want it to carry on where we left it. It'll now do that as a beta feature. It will also let you jump between scenes. So if between two scenes, I've got a video that's playing, I can actually go from scene 1 to scene 2, and the video clip will keep playing. It's not interrupted by us changing scenes. So a couple of cool things there that, as is always the case, just trying to find user cases for this, and suddenly we'll be in an academy or someone will go, oh, that'd be brilliant for, and then you think, oh yeah, I hadn't considered that as an option. But yes, very quickly. So yeah, that will keep that keep it playing while you're switching scenes. Lots of other stuff in there. Little timers and things that you can see now with your videos saying how long they're playing, when it's audio as well, showing how long is still left to play on that. Yeah, and I think that's a big one. If that worked, is the echo cancellation on external speakers. That's been a big deal for a lot of people that have external speaker system, whether that be in a monitor or elsewhere. If that can now work, that's a big deal, and we can go back to not needing to put headphones in when we're doing interviews. Right, so I think we'll wrap that up there. That's been a lot of fun. We've played around with some scenes, and because I've just been doing it on the fly, I haven't actually, there we go, that was the one that I wanted. Don't get confused, it's not YouTube Academy. We're just we're playing around with overlays and what we could do. And here I am fiddling again. My shape is custom, so why didn't that want to go? There we go. I do like how you can just hide these controls on here, and when you're doing things like this and positioning it, more often than not, you're stuck behind these. So just to be able to hide those controls, reposition things, and then come back, you can now all kind of nudge pixel at a time on here as well. Love it. Right, so I think we leave it there. Thank you so much for being on this live. I will put a bit of more thought and notice into it next time. It really was with a couple of hours notice, just going, hey, why don't we talk about this? But I'll pick up some questions from in the chat, in the YouTube videos, and also if you want to just show up and ask questions, a bit like a Ask Me Anything type live. I think this could be a really good addition to our channel, and just a chance to, for me, this is what I love about the academies, is this sort of getting on a live and questions and responding and building things in. We came on here with like 3 scenes, and we've ended up with all these. I can just delete them all out now, and we can have another run through next time. But yeah, thank you so much. Great to see you, and it's nice to see some of your names and faces as well that I haven't seen for a while. Yeah. Great stuff. All right, thank you so much. I will see you all. Well, I won't, because I've hidden my controls, so I can't hit the finish button. I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Bye.